Jens Stoltenberg, the Secretary General of NATO, ignited a firestorm of controversy recently. His suggestion, Ukraine might have to consider ceding territory to Russia. This proposal, though intended to be a pragmatic solution, has been met with fierce resistance. The idea was to exchange territory for peace and NATO membership, a move that Stoltenberg believes could bring stability to the region. The statement sent shockwaves through the international community, with leaders and citizens alike reacting strongly. It also raised questions about the future of the war-torn nation and whether such a compromise is even feasible. Stoltenberg's comments, while intended to spark debate, touched upon a raw nerve. The notion of giving up land is deeply controversial. The suggestion of territorial concessions cuts to the heart of Ukraine's sovereignty, a principle fiercely defended by its people. It also raises the specter of historical injustices, reminding many of past conflicts and territorial disputes. His words underscore the immense pressure Ukraine faces daily, both on the battlefield and in diplomatic circles. They are caught between Russia's aggression and the West's desire for a negotiated settlement, a delicate balance to maintain. The situation is complex and fraught with emotion, with no easy answers in sight. Stoltenberg's intervention has thrown a spotlight on the agonizing decisions that lie ahead. These decisions lie ahead for Ukraine and its allies, who must weigh the costs and benefits of any potential agreement. The path to peace, it seems, is paved with agonizing compromises. Each step forward requires careful consideration and immense courage. Stoltenberg's reference to the Soviet-Finnish Winter War of 1939 to 1940 is telling. Finland, facing a vastly superior Soviet force, was forced to cede territory. This was despite their fierce resistance. The historical parallel is not lost on Ukraine. Both nations, sharing a border with Russia, understand the existential threat posed by their larger neighbor. The memory of past aggression weighs heavily on the present. However, historical analogies are rarely perfect. Ukraine in 2024 is not Finland in 1940. The geopolitical landscape has shifted. International support for Ukraine is far more robust. Moreover, the Ukrainian people have demonstrated an unwavering will to resist. They are prepared to fight for every inch of their territory. The historical comparison, while informative, cannot fully encompass the complexities of the current crisis. Stoltenberg's prediction of a new dynamic post-US presidential election is significant. His insights reflect the broader concerns of many global leaders who are closely watching the political developments in the United States. The outcome of the election will undoubtedly shape the West's approach to the Ukraine conflict. The policies of the new administration could either bolster or undermine the current strategies in place. A change in administration could alter the level of military and financial support provided to Kiev. This support has been crucial in sustaining Ukraine's defense efforts against Russian aggression. The potential for a more isolationist US foreign policy under a new administration is a real concern. Such a shift could lead to a significant reduction in international engagement and support. This has been voiced by many European leaders. They fear that a retreating US could leave a power vacuum that might destabilize the region further. Such a shift could embolden Russia and weaken Ukraine's negotiating position. The balance of power in Eastern Europe is delicate, and any changes could have far-reaching consequences. The uncertainty surrounding the US's long-term commitment to Ukraine's defense adds another layer of complexity. Diplomatic efforts are already strained, and this unpredictability only heightens the tension. This is to an already volatile situation. The ongoing conflict has caused immense suffering and destruction, and any changes in international support could exacerbate the crisis. The outcome of the 2024 election could be a pivotal moment in the trajectory of the conflict. Analysts are closely monitoring the candidates' foreign policy stances and their potential impact on global stability. It remains to be seen how the geopolitical landscape will evolve. The decisions made in the coming months will shape the future of international relations and conflict resolution. However, one thing is certain. The stakes for Ukraine are incredibly high. The resilience and determination of the Ukrainian people continue to inspire. But the support of the international community remains crucial for their survival and sovereignty. Section 4. A bitter pill. Land for peace? Stoltenberg's suggestion of land for peace, while controversial, reflects the harsh realities facing Ukraine. The idea of ceding territory is deeply unpalatable. It is a bitter pill to swallow for a nation that has already endured so much. However, the alternative, a protracted and bloody conflict, may be even more unpalatable. The human cost of the war has been devastating. Millions have been displaced and the economy lies in ruins. The question facing Ukraine is agonizing. How much are they willing to sacrifice for peace? There is no easy answer, and any decision will be met with resistance and criticism. The path to peace, if it exists, will require painful compromises. The question is whether both sides are ready to make them. Section 5. Historical parallels from Helsinki to Tokyo. This section delves into the intricate web of historical events that have shaped the geopolitical landscape from Europe to Asia. The concept of territorial concessions is not without precedent in history. Throughout the ages, nations have had to make difficult decisions, often involving the ceding of land to maintain peace or to end conflicts. Finland's experience in 1940 serves as a stark reminder of the difficult choices nations face in times of war. During the Winter War, Finland was compelled to cede parts of its territory to the Soviet Union, a decision that was both painful and necessary for its survival. Japan, in the aftermath of World War II, was forced to relinquish its claims to vast territories. The devastation of the war left Japan with no choice but to accept the terms of surrender, which included significant territorial losses. This included Korea and Taiwan. These regions, once under Japanese control, were liberated and returned to their respective nations, marking a significant shift in the regional power dynamics. These concessions were the price of peace and reconstruction. The post-war period saw many nations rebuilding from the ruins, and territorial adjustments were often part of the peace agreements that facilitated this recovery. Even West Germany, during the Cold War, had to grapple with the loss of territory to East Germany. The division of Germany into East and West was a direct result of the geopolitical tensions of the time. The division of Berlin, a city scarred by conflict, stood as a constant reminder of the compromises made in the name of peace. The Berlin Wall became a symbol of the Cold War, representing the ideological divide between the East and the West. These historical examples, while offering some perspective, cannot fully capture the unique circumstances facing Ukraine. The Ukrainian crisis is shaped by its own set of historical, cultural, and political factors that make it distinct from past conflicts. Each conflict has its own dynamics, and the Ukrainian crisis is no exception. Understanding the historical context is crucial, but it is equally important to recognize the specific challenges and nuances of the current situation in Ukraine.